finally,
we talk about
moment that you guys have been waiting
Yes,
for.
we
We're
have-
gonna talk about Deadpool,
yes, the
Pool of the Dead.
yeah, the first of the great big comic book movies. 6, count them, 6 big, comic book films this year.
Yeah, and good thing you mentioned that too. But continue.
And this is a really damn good start. My gosh.
Yes, it is.
It's a
It
very,
is.
very,
It is.
very,
It is.
very
It
strong
is.
start for the year.
You're gonna see a lot of reviews like this. You're gonna hear a lot of good stuff about it, and
Yeah.
it lives up to the hype, guys.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
So the film is more or less from start to end humor. They pack so much into this. My
Yeah,
gosh.
but there are some moments of seriousness though.
Yeah.
But you need that in a film like
yeah,
this.
a ton of references, a ton of jokes, a ton of meta. Right, like that. There's our opening sequence alone was
Yes,
so
the
brilliant.
opening sequence, guys, is probably one of the greatest opening sequences you'll ever see in a
Yeah,
movie.
it's so
ever.
Yeah, jokes.
Ever.
Yeah, jokes. The up the yin yang.
Yeah, once you
what
see
did-
that intro, guys, you will understand the full gist of the show.
Yeah,
full approach.
Yeah, what they do with it is that they make a very simple comic book movie, and then just basically do the Mystery Science Theater 3000 stick on their own movie. There's
Yeah, as in like them looking at the movie and
there's
making jokes and
then
puns and
yeah,
stuff.
they just make a bunch of references to Ryan Reynolds' career. Make a bunch of
They
references.
make a reference to X-Men, the franchise.
X-Men, the
and-
franchise. Fox as a studio. Apparently Ryan Reynolds' career and his relationship to Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
A bunch of jokes with that. They make a bunch of stuff, like just general Fort Worth stuff. Like they do this really brilliant too. A really funny bit where you ask him, you're gonna see Professor X and say which
Oh yeah,
one?
so you say which one? Stewart or McAvoy?
Yeah, McAvoy or Stewart.
That was
Were really funny
fantastic.
bits.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And unexpected too. Those jokes just
Yeah.
come
Yeah, a ton of
unexpectedly.
jokes.
and
I think
makes
that's a big spoiler because there's no, like, if you see the trailer, you see the plot. That's the plot.
Yeah, that's the plot.
They make a bunch of like no. So the thing is, it's more speculation time here of the nature of like that humor that we have with respect to just meta humor, the reliance on meta humor. We've seen a lot of that in the last few years. The Lego Movie,
Yes.
the 21 Jump Street to a certain extent. Basically, anything with Phil Lord and Chris Miller has been that. This film this film really worked because of its R rating.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have gotten away with a lot of stuff. This movie would have kind of failed, frankly.
Right.
If it wasn't for the R rating.
Right. Speaking about that R rating, I just want to get into what made this film work for me was just how they marketed, how they approached it. Now, I am not speaking from the person who was just like there in the middle of like their studio exec meeting and whatnot, but I could just imagine these guys tell themselves, well, look, we introduced Deadpool before in X-Men Origins. People didn't like the way how we show it. And then also too, you're taking an edgy, hardcore character and putting him in this really watered down PG-13 film, even though it is in the X-Men franchise, right? But the thing is, like, the question is just, you can just imagine these guys kind of thinking, how do we introduce this character? How do we make this thing stand out?
Yeah.
And I could just imagine these guys just looking back at like the Marvel films before, the Avengers films, and just thinking to themselves, how we gonna get people? How we gonna get butts to seats now? How we gonna do that? So they came up with this really creative not that technique, they just came up with this really creative kind of experiment. I just call this whole movie an experiment.
Yeah.
How do you get guys and girls, and I'm not talking about geek fanboys and all that stuff, just guys and girls, to sit down and watch a superhero movie together?
Yeah.
So using this meta character of Deadpool, they released the film on Valentine's Day weekend.
Yeah.
And I mean, normally you wouldn't see
and
a
actually make it
superhero film at that time, and they just did everything to make it work there.
Yeah, so last year they did. And you put this film in there's the thing. It transcends. It goes down to like more in the domain of like, even though it's part of the very big comic book franchise, which is Marvel, it kind of goes down in the domain of, say, a Kick-Ass or another film like, say, The Kingsman, which again is two very meta films.
Exactly, yeah.
Two very meta comic book films. Kick-Ass is about the superhero in real life, and then The Kingsman is about the Bond guy who's manifests in real life, and he make a bunch of meta jokes about Bond movies.
But what I actually liked is that this film wasn't like, I loved the first Kick-Ass movie. I loved it. It was ahead of its time.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
But the second one was a huge letdown because it was just so mean-spirited with the humor, and then it didn't know how to blend the serious moments with the humor.
Yeah.
And then when it was serious, it was just so dark, and it just really bogged down everything.
Yeah.
This one, they got this. Like I said, they are serious moments, not too much.
Yeah.
But when they're there, you feel it, and because you care about the characters, because you could not relate to them, but you understand where the character's coming from.
Yeah.
You do feel it, but it doesn't bog down or weigh down the film, because you do get lots of moments of humor and stuff, and it works, you know.
Yeah, no, yeah, yeah. No, so that's again is all about the jokes and the humor. As I say, do I? You know, it's a slightly short review because it's, again, if we just talk about it, it's just spoiling the jokes. Like it's all about the jokes.
All right, but if I could just do like a little synopsis.
No, we're running through. So
right.
no, we're gonna run through it. But it's just what we want to talk about. I know it have your boy from Transporter in it.
Yes, I don't mention it.
Yeah, it's starring Gina Carano.
Yes.
Ryan Reynolds, of course. Who's the girl who started as
Marina Baccarin.
Yeah,
who you may know from Firefly and Serenity, the very attractive girl in it.
Yeah.
And she's also in Gotham.
Oh, she
plays
Gotham. She was in
she played Jim Gordon's new love interest.
She was in Flash as the voice of Gideon in the first season.
Serious? That was her?
Yeah, that was her. She's not the voice of Gideon in the new Legends of Tomorrow, but she was the voice of Gideon in Flash in season 1.
I'm not thinking about it. It does sound like holy shit.
Just look it up on IMDb.
Yeah.
Who else?
I forgot the guy who plays Colossus, but he's in it.
I don't know what's the actor name. No, it was a kind of CG thing, but I forget the voice actor. TJ Miller.
Yeah, TJ Miller. Last time I saw him was there was that Transformers film. I still can't remember.
Yeah, the fourth one.
Yeah, the fourth one.
I know him from the show on HBO. Silicon Valley.
Okay, he's from Silicon Valley.
Yeah, Silicon Valley. Yeah. And then who else they had? Oh, the girl. I forget who the actress is who's Negasonic. Teenage Warrior.
I forgot her name.
I don't know.
She's a newbie actually.
Yeah. So, but the film was a ton of fun. They had it, so they brought in what the plot is. So, Matthew, just give us a quick run through the plot.
All right. Okay, so Deadpool, he was introduced in the I forgot the issue number, but I believe it was a 1991 issue of the New Mutants.
Yeah,
I actually read it. Don't ask me how. Just through the forces of the internet, I actually read it. Really cool. And what I liked is that he was just like a henchman. He was a villain in that case.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing that much shit talking. Yes, Deadpool is really famous for his shit talking style of dialogue and stuff. But he was just there in the background. And because of just the popularity of his character, he started appearing in other superheroes comics, like of most famously like the X-Men, for example. And yes, he brought that same kind of meta humor into it as well. I remember there was one cover for I think it was an X-Men comic where he's saying, "Hey, you with the comic, I need money for a cab ride home," something like that. So he kind of, and he has his penchant, of course, for like annoying characters. Like he would annoy heroes and villains and whatnot. He doesn't care. He's just in the middle. And in this film, he's presented just like that. He's an anti-hero. He's neither good or bad. His needs, his intentions are basically his own. It's not so much about, saving the world and doing all that justice shit. It's just really about doing stuff for him. But it all works within the character. So moving away from the comic books now and into the movie. So Ryan Reynolds plays Wade Wilson.
Yeah.
He's he's dubbed the Merc with a mouth.
Yeah.
So he's
which is what made X-Men Origins Wolverine so retarded.
Because
the character didn't talk.
He didn't see his mouth. It was like some plastic wrappers over him or some shit. Yeah. But anyway, right. So he just does these really dirty jobs for that. That's how he makes his money.
Yeah.
He goes. He kind of rough subs guys, and he wouldn't be afraid to pull out a gun, just to get the job done. He just does that for money. And he runs into Marina Baccarin, who plays Vanessa.
Mm-hmm. What's the character? What's the comic book character she plays? But I forget.
That was a comic book character.
It's a character, yeah.
Okay, I thought that was just a character.
It really slipped in my mind right now, but I forget what his name. But she's not invented for the movie. Right?
All right.
It's a character.
Yeah. They start this relationship together, and that's what the whole Valentine's Day thing is. But just think of it as a very raunchy, R-rated version of your classic romance story. They make it work.
Yeah,
because she's just as raunchy and it's this sexualized as he is.
Yeah, they made that match, and you say, well, he made the point of your crazy match is my crazy. That whole joke.
Yeah.
But they made it work in the sense of just the whole upping up each other in terms of who suffered more, which is the running bit. And the chemistry and the work. It's simple.
Yeah, they have great chemistry together. By the way.
Yeah, and the movie, I'll admit, the movie Yeah, if I want to say it, does it cheat a little bit in terms of saying, well, all right, we're criticizing all these things about comic book movies, but we go on and just do
Yeah,
the same.
that's something. I'll get to that in a minute.
A little bit of internal hypocrisy.
Yeah,
but it's not a broken. It doesn't break the movie by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
Yeah.
All right, but let's get back right.
Yeah.
So, not to spoil the whole story, because like what we, just basically, the less you know, the better it is.
Yeah.
So, in a nutshell, he's sick. He suffers from lung cancer, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was like it was all over.
It was terminal cancer.
Yeah, it
basically.
was like really bad. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's given this number to go by these people to get treatment. He's not sure what the treatment is. And there he runs into our bad guy, Francis, that's his name, played by, I forgot his name, Ed Skrein, whatever his name is. He's the guy from my 10th worst film of last year, Transport Refuel. Yeah. And I would say this much, he's actually better as a villain.
Yeah, but you're still terrible.
I would say he doesn't stand out as much. He's just the standard British bad guy who talks big.
Again, sadly, if we mention this anymore, we spoil something. We spoil a joke in the movie.
Right.
Yeah, sadly.
Yeah, let me just stop there. I know what you mean. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Spoil a joke in the movie, because the movie, that's the thing, as I said, because the movie cheats a little bit, it addresses that, which I kind of don't like, but whatever.
Right. So that guy has our hero, our anti-hero, going through some grueling, torturous medical treatment, and then in the end, his cells mutate, and then he becomes this, not a freak of nature more or less, but his skin is badly disfigured. Yeah. And because of that, now he seeks revenge against Francis and the other people who more or less messed up his life. So he dons his suit and he calls himself Deadpool. They never really explain how he learned how to use swords, though. I mean, we knew from the beginning that he's good with guns. Yeah. We never show how he got to use swords. He has 2 swords. That's his secondary weapon, more or less. Yeah. And in the process, now, well, not to spoil too much, he runs into Colossus, one of the original X-Men, but in the X-Men movies prior, he's just a minor character. And he also addresses in the movie as well too. He's just a guy who just he's a hallway monitor. Yeah. But
they finally get Colossus right in the movie.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like even in X2, which I love, the way how he looked in that was terrible.
Bryan Singer, lazy with that character, dude. Holy crap. It's just some guy who just they say, well, we're gonna just put silver on him. And it's like, that's not Colossus.
No, that's not him.
They actually get great looking, right? Even though the CG didn't look too hot. I mean, this movie, it still looked damn good. Like, this is how Colossus is supposed to look now.
Yeah, and then he has a trainee, an X-Man in process. Right. I forgot her name is
Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Yeah, Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Yeah. Just this teenage girl with teen angst. She plays that teen angst thing
and they do it really well.
Yeah, but when it's ready for her to throw down, she can throw it down. Yeah. Yeah, and that's all basically I'm gonna say in terms of plot. Now, what I loved about the movie, though, yes, the meta humor, it works. Yeah. It's just him breaking the fourth wall and just reminding people 2 things. A, yes, this is a comic book movie, and B, this is what you kind of expect, and we just kind of poking fun at the fact that this is the kind of stuff, and this is one thing I really loved, and especially with the timing of this film. Yeah. We are getting how much? 6 movies, and even before that we had, and let me admit it, the superhero genre, movie genre is starting to get really formulaic now.
Yeah, a little saturated. Yeah.
And now that's why they could just go so incredibly over the top with the Batman v Superman, the Suicide Squads, and all that stuff. Here it's just like, yes, we know it's being saturated. This is why. So we're gonna, more or less, and I think this is where you were saying where this might be a good and bad thing, where basically it's a standard superhero film. Like you see the origin story and stuff.
They do it really
and the origin story is really gritty. Like for me, that was like the grittiest moment in the whole show.
Right. Good.
How he becomes Deadpool though is really like the grimiest part in the whole film. Yeah. But in general, it is what you expect from every superhero film, even right down to the final showdown with a platform that they're fighting on. I'm not going to say what platform is, but I would say it's reminiscent of Captain America: The Winter Soldier, how that ended.
Actually, there's a big joke about that, because they say, I don't know if it's a proof, but I think the joke was that it's supposed to be the first helicarrier from the first Avengers that crashed.
Right.
Somebody said that. It was really the crash helicarrier. I can't remember where I heard that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
What else? performances, especially from Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
I will see this. A ton of other people will see this too, but this man was born to play this character. I am so glad that he stayed with his character. He was so faithful. He really wanted to make it work, and he did it.
No,
it was fantastic.
I put it on par with I put it on par with Hugh Jackman and Wolverine, or say Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man.
They were made for that role.
Like you can't imagine anyone else being this at this point.
Exactly. Ryan with his humor, this kind of dry, raw humor as well too. And he is an asshole, yes, but he is a likable asshole.
Right. And I think what they do, another thing they're doing with the whole bit is, we enter in the age of the anti-hero. The bad versus evil aspect of things. This is Rob Liefeld. Rob Liefeld's character. Rob Liefeld is very infamous. So his artwork, his material, again, is the period in which he was really popular as a big artist in the industry at the time, in the early 90s.
Right.
And it's interesting to see this now come to full service. They make a bunch of references to Rob Liefeld, I think, in this movie. I couldn't find it. That's the thing. There's so much references and so much jokes that sometimes they just fly by you so fast. They make a bunch of references to X-Men Origin Wolverine.
Yeah,
they make a bunch of references to Green Lantern.
Yes.
They make a bunch of references to Ryan Reynolds' career in general.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman, X-Men. They poke fun at Fox for being like such failures. So they kind of like poke fun at themselves. And again, at this point with this movie, Fox needed a win. They're coming off of Fantastic Four, Fantastic, which was more or less a complete disaster and completely embarrassed them. And then Ryan Reynolds needed a win.
Yeah.
It was just like a set of mess movies he do in a row. It's a crap. Yeah. And he finally got this to just do so well. And they just made it R-rated. That's the most important one.
It was R-rated.
Give them as much creative freedom as possible.
Yeah. It didn't hold back. It didn't hold back for nothing. It was what it was. It just gave it to you like that. They gave it to you raw.
And that's what it's supposed to do. That's what it's supposed to do with the character. You don't try to take yourself too serious or anything like that.
Right. There was one thing. There was one little in joke. I would say like this. There's someone I know, and when the last Thor, not the last Thor film, Captain America Winter Soldier came out. One question he stated is that because it's in the Marvel universe, you would think that if Captain America was in trouble or danger, he could just call on Iron Man or call on Hulk to help him out. So in this film, just like a little spoiler, there's a moment where Deadpool literally knocks on the door of the Xavier Institute and asks, and
that's one of the best jokes.
Yeah, so
well, just spoil it.
Yeah.
That's one of the best.
So it's like that. It's like
again,
literally right around the corner.
Another fourth wall kind of breaking moment. And then the post-credit sequence as well also makes reference to another character. And again, it's another meta joke.
Yes.
They basically make fun of post-credit sequences.
Yeah. But that post-credit sequence also references a very famous, still one of the best 80s comedies of all time. I'm not going to say what it is. You have to see it for yourself. Yeah. Which also breaks the fourth wall as well too. That's the only clue I'm going to give you guys. Right.
And then
character breaks the fourth wall a lot. Once you know that, then you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And then they do a last piece with I think I know what it is. Anyway, they do, and then I don't know if this is a spoiler. Anybody who's familiar with the material, they reference a character. And it's going to be the actor who's pining for this character has been pining for the character for a long time. A man by the actor by the name Stephen Lang. And
I think the last time I saw him was in this shit movie, Conan the Barbarian.
Right.
He was the villain. Yeah.
Anyway, Stephen Lang.
Yeah, but all right. So like I said before, I love the acting. I love the dialogue, the script.
Yeah.
Well written. I love the creativity. I love the attention that they put into it. I love the fun that they have with it as well too. Like I said, this is primarily humorous from start to end, but when they really get to serious moments, I like the fact they didn't hold back. They showed you the seriousness, they showed you the brevity of the situation, and you really felt for it, and it really reminded you that yes, this is not child's play. This is not fun.
Yeah, they made it,
people can die. This is real,
Yeah, they made it really work in terms of the violence.
But it didn't bog down on it, so, and really made it feel bad.
There's a little projection time. Not no ratings yet, just a projection time. I am a bit worried for Suicide Squad now. Because this movie, because of the rated R, is like, Suicide Squad need to be rated R.
Yeah, but I don't think they will.
They can't. It's PG-13, but that's a problem. So I'm a bit worried for Suicide Squad now.
Yeah, but I mean, we this movie, if anything, gives
another piece of celebration is that this movie completely destroyed Zoolander 2. I'm so glad for that. Zoolander 2 was hot garbage.
Like, how much it is in the box office right now? Like 2 or something, I think so.
What?
Well, I know.
What, Deadpool?
No. Deadpool is number 1, duh.
Yeah.
But what about Zoolander? Like, I don't even know.
Don't know. I don't care.
Yeah. Right. So what else?
And then,
yeah,
right.
go on.
Oh, and then what I suspect, well, this is a kind of spoiler, because what I expect to see Deadpool at the end of Apocalypse.
That's X-Men what people are anticipating.
Why? Because of, again, who the character that's mentioned at the end of this film. He's a character that's very heavily tied to Apocalypse.
Yes. Wouldn't say any more about that.
No, again, in many ways, anybody who's a fan will know exactly who we're talking about.
Even if you saw the cartoons, then you should know.
Right.
I will say, let's get back to what I liked about it though. The action sequences were phenomenal.
Very good.
Well shot, well edited, no shaky cam, none of that bullshit. You saw everything, you got the detail. The only downsides though is just the way how they treated some of these side characters like Colossus. And there was this moment where Wade has this blind woman be like a friend of his.
Yeah.
I felt that they didn't really spend too much time on her, or enough time on her, I should say.
Yeah.
She was just there in the background, just kind of like cussing, Wade for just doing shit.
Yeah.
I kind of figured that she was going to be like, Stick from the Daredevil TV series. Yeah. Someone who could, put up with the guy's shit and kind of put him in his place, but she's just there in the background. Like,
didn't do much with it.
Yeah, you're just in my house, okay, you're welcome, whatever, And the villain didn't really stand out as much, although I still stand by my opinion that actor is better, plays better as a villain than actual hero.
Gina Carano was in it. She was good. She does not much.
She's hot though, I would say.
I forget what she
was in the 6th Fast and Furious.
I know, but I was saying, I don't know. I forget what her
her character is.
Her character is, because it's a comic book character.
Yeah, I forgot though. Did they mention the name, right?
I really forget. What else? Yeah.
And also too, the CG, like I say, it is fairly good.
You only notice it. You notice a lot with some of Daredevil's movements, and then Colossus in particular. That's it.
Daredevil, you mean Deadpool?
Daredevil. Deadpool, when some of his movements, you see him like when he's jumping around and bouncing around a bit. And Colossus himself really looked. Some of the CG was kind of cheap, but it's a very cheap.
But there's really the budget.
Yeah, the budget is quite low.
The budget is quite low because this was a huge gamble.
Right.
You bring out a superhero movie R-rated superhero movie at Valentine's.
Yeah.
And I would say one of the main reasons why it worked is because of the marketing.
Yeah.
Dude, the people behind this marketing scheme for this film need an Academy Award. They pulled off an excellent job with this way. Oh my god, just Fast and Furious.
They did a ton of jokes, and again, the meta material, they made a bunch of references. Like, okay, one of the big things that comic books always suffer from is that, or even big franchises tend to suffer from, is that the toy lines spoil stuff in the movie. Because they will release something to reference
say a Doomsday,
right, or something like that. Right, Star Wars did it, and in Deadpool they made a joke about, I can't believe you spoiled the hot balloon sequence. I was like, that's not in the movie, but it's a joke about how you spoil stuff, and the Lego Deadpool does that. There's a bunch of stuff like that. Rated.
I wanted to give this a 4.5.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I will give it a strong 4 to a light 4.5 out of 5 stars.
Right.
Definitely see this movie in theaters. Do not waste, do not stick, do not pass up on this opportunity. You're gonna have fun with it. Yeah. Even if you're not a fan of superhero movies, even if there's things about superhero movies that you don't like, then you will this will be right up your alley, because you could pick out, that's how superheroes and movies are. I don't like that. Why are they always doing this? They poke fun at all that, and you're gonna have tons of fun with it. And even if you're looking for like a serious story, you're gonna get that serious origin story. You're gonna get a damn fine superhero story as well too.
I give this medium to low IMAX. It's actually worth your money. You should go IMAX to see this. It's still not perfect. It's not perfect by a long shot, because it cheats a little bit with its own material. Again, it's like they're doing their own Mystery Science Theater.
So you're making fun of certain cliches, but you're doing the cliches too, because it's a superhero movie and you need the cliche, like the final sequence, for example.
And the thing is, they made the whole what would be hilarious is when honest trailers do an episode of something like this, because
my gosh,
it's like, wait, they already do, the movie already did that. Like, honest trailer might do a bit where they didn't do anything at all.
Can't wait to see how Deadpool should have ended though. That would be cool.
Something like that.
That would be fun.
Or something like that. Again, because it feeds into that culture of meta and that kind of stuff. I
will say it is the first best movie I've seen for the year.
Yeah, a long time.
I hope that it stays within that top 5 category. Maybe it could be a number 1, who knows? But sorry, not Marvel, but Warner certainly has some catching up to do. But you know, Marvel started out strong with this one, so I don't know if
I don't really call it Marvel. I call it Fox.
Fox Marvel. No, Marvel.
I know, but the thing is, I am happy with this movie. I'm really happy with what they pulled this off in the final product. It had a big thing leading up to it when they wanted to do. Maybe it had a CG thing that was around Comic-Con.
Yeah,
and Brian Reynolds leaked it online, and it had a whole thing.
And they actually replicated the intro.
Pretty much.
The opening sequence, I should say, for the film.
Well, awesome. X gonna give it to you. Awesome.
Yes. And the way how they use that song,
and then Shoot by Salt and Pepper.
Right. Well done as well too.
Another thing, I don't know if this is a fact. I think if I remember correctly, I don't know why they use Shoot by Salt and Pepper, but I keep thinking the reference. I think that song was 1993, late 93.
I think it's 91 or 90. Is either 93 or 91?
No, I think it's late 93.
Okay.
Or early 94. And I think that was when Deadpool's official first comic came out. At the first time. I think so. I think that is what...
That's some good trivia there, buddy.
I think so.
Yeah.
You had to look that up. But don't quote me on that for sure. But I think that is the case. That is what... So...
Cutting is more than this is a cool song, you know?
Right. I think it has something to do.
It has more to do with it.
Something to do with Rob Liefeld being a fan of Salt and Pepper or something along those lines.
Okay.
Right. And then I always forget how good of a song Shoop is.
Yeah, it's still catchy as hell though. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and it just made it totally work in this film.
Yeah. So guys, once again, if you haven't seen the show, if you didn't get a chance to see it for the Valentine's Day weekend like we did, go and see it as soon as you can. See it before the hype dies down. See it before. Before you ask yourself, wait, are they still showing Deadpool in theaters?
It's very
are they still? No, go and see it now.
Yeah, we've got the next big run as well, Batman v Superman.
Yeah, see it before Batman v Superman, guys. Yeah. Like, real talk.
It's before Batman. Batman v Superman is the next on the list. I
still have high hopes for it because of the acting and the director behind it.
I worried about it. I will see.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So
that's basically a review of Deadpool. A very, very strong start of the year for me,
and for me too.
Yeah, so I'm very glad. I plan to go and watch it back.
Yeah. Oh yes, definitely worth seeing again, guys. Definitely worth seeing again.
Just for the humor alone.
Yeah, because trust me, there were moments like people were just laughing through some jokes, so I had to pick up on them, and then of course the references I must have picked up.
There was a guy who was talking on the phone, and he was next like 2-3 seats away from me on the bottom, and his phone was bright, and I was like, bruh. Really? You can't be serious.
Yeah, like
that was
put the phone down
and he was loud. And I was like, all right, so I missed some jokes there.
Like I can imagine, like, yo, watching Deadpool.
No, he was like talking to somebody and giving instructions, just pissing me off. Anyway,
forget that. Yeah.
Whatever.